So the question is, should you process your master channel with effects or should you leave it? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hi everyone, my name is Vlad, I am a DJ and one-man band music producer, and in today's video I want to share something new with you guys that I've learned recently when I was making this track, and it's something that I've used before but I wasn't thinking about that, consciously. So when I've tried this sound design / mixing technique in the track, I just loved it. So in today's tutorial I'm going to teach you guys how to get loud and punchy mixes with saturation. Let's start with the tutorial. So what do you guys think of the track? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear feedback, and let's start off with a little bit of theory. What is saturation? So if I play just a pure sine wave, it's gonna look like that on the analyzer. But what if I add, for example, let's add overdrive. So here you can see saturation in action, and basically what it does, it adds harmonics to your sound. And now when you guys know what is saturation, you know the theory, let's talk about this technique. And it's about adding saturation on the master channel, and the reason why I'm doing that in this particular track is that I've wanted to achieve that punchy loud sound. So if I mute the saturation, I just bypass everything, maybe an equalizer as well, and let's just listen to the kick and the kick, the bass and the drums. It still sounds good, but what if we add saturation on the master? The sound becomes fatter, punchier, more powerful, and this is the thing with saturation. Saturation, when used wisely and properly in the right context, it helps you to achieve a nice, a warm mix, a powerful mix, a loud mix, which is really important nowadays in electronic dance music. What you can do with saturation on the master channel is that you can split your whole spectrum in bands, and let me show you an example. I really like that distorted kind of sound, and the only way to achieve this kind of sound on the whole mix is to use saturation on the master channel. But you might think, and I'm sure you've heard a lot of times, that many people tell that you should not process your master channel with anything, it should be always empty. It's not the case actually. So the difference is when you are trying to, maybe apply some EQ, apply some compression and all of that, and what you're trying to do here is that you're trying to skip the previous steps that you should have taken when you were mixing the individual channels, the groups. And the thing is, in that case, when I'm using saturation on the master channel, it's about the character. It's more like a sound design tool. It's not really about mixing. But yes, of course, saturation could be used both for sound design and mixing. But in electronic dance music, you can hear that punchy, that specific, distinctive kind of sound. Let me play you one more time. Really hard, really punchy, really loud, and this is achieved through the saturation, or you can use similar kinds of like compressors, something similar, and you will achieve the same sound. But what I love about saturation is that it reduces the dynamic range. It works as a compressor in a similar way, and it will help you to make your mixes louder, more powerful. Yeah, I've talked about that just a couple of minutes ago, so you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, it's really powerful thing. And you can also use, and you should use, saturation on the individual channels, the groups, and what else? Yeah, these two, because let me show you. I've used saturation on the kick and the bass group. So if I bypass this one on the master, it doesn't sound really nice, does it? I don't like the sound. And with the saturation, you just throw it on the group. Yeah, sounds better. Now the compression. And some EQing. Now it sounds really, really cool. And you've noticed that I'm using FOP filter Saturn 2. It's a great, flexible and versatile saturator with a lot of sound design possibilities. I don't want to go deep into the details, but if you'd like me to make a tutorial, like explain in details how to work with this particular plugin, because it has a lot of, you know, modulators, as you can see here, and you can modulate basically anything with that. So if you guys would like that, just let me know in the comments below and I will do that. So if you want to make your mixes sound louder, there are a couple of simple steps you need to take. So first, apply saturation on the groups, on the individual channels, and on the master bus. But be careful here, because sometimes you don't want to apply a lot. It's always about the balance, but sometimes really distorted sound is really cool in this example. And all you need to do, just add drive, reduce the dynamics, and you will get squashed, kind of compressed sound, but not compressed, because saturation works in a more pleasant, more soft way. And this is it. Just play around with bands, see what works for your track. And yeah, this is basically everything you need to know. And one more cool thing is a clipper. You can also use clipper on the master channel, on the individual channels, the groups. Basically the same thing, almost the same thing as saturation. And it will help you to reduce the dynamic range and make your tracks sound louder because of the perceived loudness. And before I end the video, I want to answer this question, which is the title of the video. Should you process your master channel or should you leave it empty? And the answer is, it depends. It depends, because sometimes you can add saturation and it's more like a stylistic choice. But if you're talking about mixing, I would prefer leaving your master channel empty and working and focusing on the groups and individual channels instead. And everything else you can do on the mastering stage, or just give it to the mastering engineer that he will do the work. And if we're talking about mixing here, I'm not really a fan of adding something to your master channel like EQ, compression. I would rather focus on the individual channels and groups and do all of the work there. And after that, you just do everything else during the mastering stage, or just give your track to the mastering engineer who will do all of the work. So yeah, that was all for today. I hope that you guys liked the video. I hope that you've learned something new. And if you did, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave your nice comment below, say hello. I'm always open to start new conversation. It's really nice when you get some new comments from new people. And yeah, that was everything for today.